Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. Welcome to the Spine Ticks After Party. Got some great stuff to share with you tonight. I have a few eBay pickups. I'll be showing some PFL cards that I opened up recently. I'll be showing the rest of the 120 card Ceedee Lamb rookie lot that I started showing last week. And I'll also be showing part of a 1980 Topps baseball starter set. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the eBay pickups. So I'm still sort of short of money because of the holidays. So I've sort of been, looking at super cheap stuff, stuff that I can find for, preferably under $1.99 or whatever. And I found a seller that had probably like 450 cards that were literally ending at the exact same second. And usually that means that there's a couple opportunities. So I ended up bidding on about 15 cards, and I ended up winning about 4 of them. One of them I was outbid right at the last second, and I put in, like $1.50 or something. And I ended up winning it for $1.24. But for the most part, these were minimum bid, 99-cent sort of stuff. All of these are from the 1970s, but really happy to get these. Go ahead and start with this 1974 Topps Willie Stargell. It's got really sharp corners. It's a little off-center top to bottom. And it looks like there's a little bit of an oil stain or something right there. But otherwise, nice card. Here's the back. And Topps used to put their stars on the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 of their sets. So this sort of tells you the type of player Stargell was around this time. But a fantastic player, Hall of Famer. Really nice card. Next, this is a 1972 Topps. This is the Orioles Rookie Stars. Has a couple notable players on here. Of course, we have Don Baylor. We also have Johnny Oates. And Johnny Oates is in the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. He was the manager the first several times the Rangers made the playoffs. And he's a fantastic manager, R.I.P. This is not Don Baylor's rookie card. He actually has a rookie in 1971, along with Dusty Baker as well. Love to get that card at some point. Still really happy to get this one. This one's super sharp. Little off center. Left to right, but not too bad. Oop. Definitely a sharp card. A little more off center on the back. But really happy to get this. All right, next, this one's a little disappointing. I did win this one for the minimum bid of 99 cents, and this is my second copy. But I was hoping to get another copy of this so I could send it out for a TTM. This guy does sign. This is a Hall of Fame rookie card. This is a Ken Houston. But unfortunately, since this guy was a bulk seller, he didn't put too much of the description, of the condition of the card. It was basically like the card pictured is the card you will receive, and blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, I'm going to tilt this, and you can see that there's like an impression right here that goes right about to the numbers. Does not go all the way across. But I would guess this is sort of a manufacturer issue or something like that. Maybe one of the rollers or something. I'm not really sure. But unfortunately, that is there. And so, 99 cents is a good price for this card, but with that, little disappointed. But I guess it's not too bad. I'm not going to complain about it anyway. Otherwise, it's a super, super sharp card, and it is a Hall of Fame rookie card. So just a little disappointed in the condition of that one. All right, and the last one, this one definitely has a little bit of wear, but I was willing to overlook it because I don't have any cards from this particular set in my collection, and I absolutely love the designs of the back. And so, if anything, I'm happy to have one of these in my collection. Not really a scarce card or anything like that, especially being from the 1970s. But I do like the back, and I'm going to show a comparison between this card and a Topps copy of it. This is a 1971 O-Pee-Chee. And this is, of course, Hall of Famer Steve Carlton. And it does have minor corner wear. And it has like a little lip up right here on the bottom edge of the card. But this is an O-Pee-Chee, and the O-Pee-Chee backs, in my opinion, are absolutely fantastic for this set. And there it is. I just love this with the kind of goldish yellow and the floating head in the middle. And I'll show you. There's the O-Pee-Chee, and then I pulled out a Bill Mazeroski that I had in my collection from 71 Topps. And that's the Topps version. So it's a significantly different back. And not that this one's bad, but I really love this back. And so I'd like to get several more Hall of Famers with the O-Pee-Chee back. And this is the first one. So really happy to get it. Again, the minimum bid. And so, can't really complain too much about the condition. It's a nice card. Not mint, not gradable or anything like that, but I mean, I guess it presents pretty well. But yeah, and it seems like it's a different sort of card stock. Maybe a slightly thicker card stock, or more quality card stock than the Topps. And I really wasn't aware of that, but it's definitely a nice card. I'm really happy to add this to the collection. Now I'll just have to get a couple of them in a little better condition. All right, so that's all the cards from that lot. I think shipped, I paid probably like $7 or something. It wasn't too bad for those 4. All right, next, this is a 2-card purchase. These were singles, and I ended up winning 2 of them. But really happy to get these, and I got these. I think I paid a total of like $5 for these. So really happy to get these. I've wanted both of these cards for a while, and both of these are pretty nice. One of them's a little off-center, but the other one's nice. But these are both 1972 Topps. I just love this Willie McCovey. The imagery on this, he's sort of at an angle throwing the ball. I've always loved this image, and really happy to get this card. And it is super sharp, almost pack fresh. So I was really excited to get this one. And the next one. This one's got some minor corner wear, not too bad, but it's definitely off-center. But really happy to get this one. There's a little corner wear right here and right here. These two are pretty nice, but definitely off-center. This is a 1971 World Series Game 4, and this is actually Roberto Clemente. So really happy to get this card. Anytime you can get a Clemente card, you do it, especially when you can get one for as cheap as this one was. Just a great looking card. Really happy to get that. All right, the last card that I picked up, this was actually listed as Japanese baseball card. That's it, just generic Japanese baseball card. And the guy, I actually looked up Manko, and that's how I discovered this, because this is a Manko. But with a generic listing like that, no player name or anything like that, I was certainly fortunate to find this. Unfortunately, the price was a little closer to what it should sell for, but every card that he had listed was the same price, and he ended up. I put this on my watch list just to kind of keep an eye on it, and the guy sent me like a 25% discount or something like that, and I went ahead and bought it. Really happy to get this. It's in fantastic shape. I do believe this is hand cut. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. This is a 1963 Manko JCM 13C Marusho flagback of Hall of Famer Katsuya Nomura. And I knew exactly who this was as soon as I saw the card. I was like, whoa, that's Nomura. And it's not even labeled correctly. So really happy to get this. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get a significant discount on this. I probably paid $16 or so for this. And most of the time, this card will go for about $20. So really happy to get this. This guy is second all-time in the MPB in home runs and RBIs. Longtime player, former manager. And there's the Marusho back. And this was a prize winner. You got a stamp number 2 right there. But just absolutely gorgeous condition for this card, especially being a Manko. There is a touch on this corner and a touch on this corner. The top 2 corners are really sharp. And just a gorgeous example of this card. This is nowhere near his rookie year, probably, like 7th, 8th year or something like that. But still just a gorgeous looking card in fantastic shape. Really happy to get this and add it to the collection. All right, so that's all of the eBay pickups that I had to show this week. Next, give me just a second so I can get this next thing set up. So I purchased this probably 2 months ago, and as I mentioned when I got this, I paid 99 cents for this. Combined it with shipping with a bunch of other stuff that I had, and I literally had this basically for free shipping. It only added an additional 99 cents to my order. So I picked it up mostly because of the price. I don't know a whole lot about PFL. This is the 2022 box set. There's 25 cards in the set, but then there are also 5 parallels included in this box. And, basically, to get the complete set for 99 cents, that's a win in itself. But then, there's some parallels in there. Anyway, I had this sitting around for several months and never got around to showing it. So I decided to open this on Sports Cards and Things Aloha Friday last weekend. And I actually had a pretty nice hit in this box. So I'm going to go ahead and show what I ended up getting. But yeah, this is a 25 card base set plus 5 parallel cards. And here's some of the odds. So base set parallels are 5-1. So you get 5 base set parallels at least. Got gold parallels 3-1. Red parallels are numbered to 8.99. Green parallels are numbered to 99. They have black parallels that are 1-1s. Autograph parallels are 1 in 7. And gold autograph parallels are numbered to 25. And it actually says right here, look for low numbered gold autograph parallels. I actually hit one of these, so I'll be showing that here in a minute, but really excited to get that. But I really only knew 2 people in this set, and that would be Kayla Harrison and Anthony Pettis. And everybody else, I had no idea who they were, although Aaron pointed out another one when I was showing it on the stream. That's definitely notable, but I wasn't really familiar with. But let me go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and start with the base set, the 25 card base set. And card number 1 is Kayla Harrison, and I believe she's still undefeated. She's probably the best fighter in the PFL at this time, at least the one I'm most familiar with. All right. Next we have Lance Palmer. Next, we have Jarrah Al-Sulawi. I'm probably butchering some of these names, so I apologize. But hopefully there are a few viewers that are more familiar with the PFL than I am and will appreciate checking out this set. Next, we have Roush Manfio. And these are pretty nice, nice cards. I do like the design. But I mostly bought this for the price. Ray Cooper III. There were actually several of these that sold for 99 cents, the minimum bid. I kind of wish that I had picked up more. Next we have Antonio Carlos Jr. Unfortunately, the seller hasn't posted anything close to a set that would sell for 99 cents since these were posted. But I've been keeping an eye out. Maybe some of these will pop up again eventually. Next, this is a Martine Hamlet But I believe it was a sports card shop, and they were probably just getting rid of inventory that wasn't selling well. Next, we have Bruno Capoloza. Next, we have Antti Delija. Next, we have Olivier Albin Mercier. I do like how they have the flags on the back so you know where all of these fighters are from, which I think is kind of cool. Next, we have Clay Collard. Next, we have Julia Budd. Next, we have Emiliano Sordi. Next, we have Rory McDonald. Next, this is the other person I was familiar with, Anthony Pettis. He's a former UFC champion. Although it doesn't look like he's doing too well in the PFL. In 2021, he was 0-2. Still, I was familiar with him. Next, we have Renan Ferreira. Or Renan. I'm not sure how you say that. Next, we have Stuart Austin. Next, we have Chris Wade. Next, we have Bubba Jenkins. And if there are any other fighters in this set that I'm unfamiliar with that are notable, definitely leave a comment. Let me know. This is Sadabu Sai. Next, we have Brendan Loughnane. Next, we have Larissa Pacheco. Next, we have Magomed Karamov. Next, we have Gina Fabian. And the last card in the base set, and I wasn't familiar with this person, but Aaron mentioned that this was a 2-time gold medalist in boxing, I believe. Yeah. And so this is definitely a nice card to get. This is Clarissa Shields. And I do believe this is considered a rookie card, so that's pretty cool. It says right there, 2-time gold medalist boxer, London 2012, Rio 2016. So Definitely a nice boxer anyway, if not MMA. So that's pretty cool. So that's the 25 card base set. Now on to the 5 parallels that I got. So these are basically just the gold, which were, 5-1 or whatever. So we have Rory McDonald, Brendan Loughnane, and these right here are not numbered or anything. These are just kind of base golds. But one of them was Anthony Pettis, so that's kind of cool, since that's one of the few people in this set that I actually know. And then the 2 bigger hits from the box. So this one is, I guess, the red parallel. This one's numbered out of 899. This is 333 out of 899, although I can't say I know who this is. This is Marthin Hamlet. And there's the number right there out of 899. And then the big one, and this is one of the gold autograph parallels, is what they're called. And this one's numbered out of 25. This is number 8 out of 25. And so really happy to get this hit. This is Julia Budd. Her nickname is Jewel, so she signed it with a heart and jewel. Numbered 8 out of 25. And so I was looking up Julia Budd, and she has an interesting career. She's the only person ever to beat Gina Carano, who you might know from The Mandalorian. She was Cara Dune. But this was the only person that beat Cara Dune, that beat Gino Carano in Muay Thai. So that's quite an achievement for Julia Budd. But I was looking at her career, and it seems like anytime she fought one of the bigger name fighters, Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, Chris Cyborg, she lost. But she did fight them. So give her credit. But she did not win any of those major fights. But she seems to have been a pretty good fighter, regardless, and she has a pretty nice record. And this is really cool to get this hit. Especially being one of the main. I mean, outside of, I guess, the 101 black parallels, this is what you're chasing. So, really happy to get this. Not sure what the odds are, but they couldn't have been very favorable. So, definitely happy to get that. And I got to say, this was a very nice purchase for 99 cents. That's for sure. So, hopefully, y'all enjoyed seeing that. All right. So next, I will be showing the last 60 cards of the Ceedee Lamb rookie lot that I picked up. 120 card Ceedee Lamb rookie lot. This was just an amazing find, and after the season that he had, I'm really happy that I picked this up. But let's go ahead and get started. All of these, I believe, are 2020. Yeah, so these are all 2020. But the first card I'll be showing this is from Panini Chronicles. And I have quite a few of these. First, let me show you this. In the back. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we also have a pink variation. All right, next, these are so generic right here. This is a Panini NFL sticker and card collection, and yeah, these look just like the Panini stickers that I grew up with. Here's a couple of Panini CD Lambs. So I guess these are stickers. That's kind of interesting. Or maybe they're just designed like stickers. I'm not really sure. All right, next, these are Panini Chronicles as well. This is Prestige. Actually, give you a better look at this one. And there are a few of these. We got one and two. All right, next, this is also Panini Chronicles. I have a few of these. One, two, three, four, five, and six. All right, next, we have a couple Panini Mosaic. This is the NFL debut. I always like this design, these sets, but they all sort of look the same. But it is a great design. So we have one, two, three, four, five, and six of those. Next, these are really cool. So these are Panini Chronicles Clear Vision. These are sort of acetates, see-through. Chronicles does make some nice cards. I have several of these. Got two, three, four, and five. All right, next, this is Panini Absolute Football. These are kind of cool. One, two, three, four, and five. With that one. All right, next, this is Panini Select. This is a Concourse. Definitely a fan of Select. Always been a fan of Select. They have some great cards. We have a few of these. One, two, three, four, and five. All right, next, this is Panini Prism. And we have a couple of these. But we also the red, white, and blue. I'm not sure if this is considered a refractor or something. But definitely a cool card. All right, next. This is also Panini Absolute Football. We have a couple of these. All right, next. These are also Panini Mosaic. The last ones were the draft pick one, or NFL debut or whatever. We have a pair of these. All right, next. This is Panini Contenders. And this is Rookie of the Year Contenders. And we have, this is kind of cool. I do like the design of these. Cool looking sort of galaxy backdrop. But I also got a green parallel. That's kind of cool. All right, next, this is Panini Chronicles Dynagon. This is kind of cool. I'd never seen or heard of this set before. Definitely a cool design. And there are a couple of these. All right, next, I had already purchased this for my collection before, so really happy to get a couple duplicates of these. This is probably my favorite football product. I definitely like the basketball version of this as well. This is the Donruss Optic. I think I had 3 Ceedee Lamb rookies in my collection before I bought this gigantic lot, but this was definitely one that I had to pick up, was the Optic. So happy to get a couple more of these. I think part of the appeal is the rated rookie logo. And then this being like the glossy version of the Donruss. All right, next, just one of these, but this is really cool. This is Panini Chronicles Prism Black. And that's kind of a cool card to get. Again, just one of these. This is Panini Chronicles Classics. This is another set that I wasn't familiar with, but this is kind of cool. Definitely sort of has a classic feel to the back with the Did You Know. Definitely cool. All right, next, again, just one of these. This is a Panini Playbook. I have a few Playbook cards, but not too many. I do like Playbook, though. All right, getting close to the end. I believe everything I have left, there's only one of, yeah. So this is, again, this is a Panini Playoff. I think that's the, no. Yeah, different version, a different image. Actually, this is playbook. This is playoff. What am I talking about? Yeah, playoff's been around a while. I was buying that stuff in the 90s. All right, next we have Chronicle Score. That's kind of cool. Here's another playoff. This is behind the numbers. Of course, you got number 88. Quite a few people in Dallas Cowboys history have worn number 88. Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, Des Bryant, and now Ceedee Lamb. Definitely an iconic number with the franchise. Next we have, this is Panini Donruss. This is Gridiron Kings. Always been a fan of these Diamond Kings, Gridiron Kings sort of cards with the artwork. Just a gorgeous looking card. This kind of almost looks like the canvas that they do with the hockey. It's kind of got that look to it. And the last card, this is Panini Chronicles Playoff. Trying to figure out what this is. I mean, I guess this is Momentum. But it says like 20 SSD or something. I'm not sure what all that is. But it's an acetate. Trying to figure out what this is. Don't know if it'll show up. It says like 20 SSD Momentum. Man Momentum or something. Not really sure. But still a cool looking card. All right. So that's the last 60 of the 120 card Ceedee Lamb rookie lot. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all these duplicates. Maybe I'll try to put together like a card sale or something like that one day on my channel. See how that goes before I decide to post them up on eBay. Because there's no reason to have 6, 7, 8 copies of a card. I'm usually good with 1 or 2, depending on the card. So I'll figure out what to do with those later on. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed seeing those. All right, so the last thing I'll be showing today is another starter set. This is 1980 Topps Baseball. And I would say I probably have a little over a third of the set. I think this was a 400-ish card lot. And there were probably 70 or so that were either duplicates or in rough shape. So whatever's left, I would say maybe about a third of the set would be my guess. Now, I didn't have too many cards, notable cards, in my collection from the set, but I'll go ahead and show some of the ones that I did. This one's definitely got some corner wear, but here's Steve Carlton, Hall of Famer. This one's really rough. Definitely off center, top, front and back. I have a couple of these. Second year Ozzie Smith. And we have Joe Morgan. And this one definitely has some corner wear as well. I believe the Morgan was part of my childhood collection, so a little rough. All right, so those are the cards that I already had in my collection. Now let's go ahead and get started on the starter set. So first we got this 79 highlights of Willie McCovey, 512th homer, sets new career mark for NL lefties. This should at least be in a penny sleeve. I'll do that after the video. I've debated for a while once I finish the player runs that I'm working on if I should move to Willie McCovey. Definitely a big fan of his. Definitely need to pick up some more of his 1960s cards. Next we have Mike Lum. And I would say for the most part these are EX or better. Most of these. This was definitely a nice lot to find. All right, next we have Steve Braun. I'm just going to show the backs of a few cards like I've been doing in previous videos, and then after a while I'll just show the fronts. The backs are all pretty much similar. Unless I get to a more notable card, then I'll show the back. We have Bill Campbell. Next we have Jerry Narron, former Ranger manager. Next we have Hall of Famer Bruce Sutter. Next we have Ron Jackson. Next we have Baylor Moore. Next, Dan Ford. Next we have Pat Putnam. Now obviously the key card in this set would be the Rickey Henderson rookie. And I do not have that, unfortunately, but that's definitely a card on my want list. Because Rickey Henderson was fantastic. Really fun to watch. And definitely a unique character in baseball history. Next we have Darryl Thomas. And I'd honestly be happy getting that in a mid-grade, don't know. I would prefer to get it raw and have it in better condition. But if I were to get one that was graded, I would be happy with like an EX5 or something. Next we have Jim Slayton. Next we have Del Unser. But I do not want to pay up for a PSA 8 or something like that. Rickey Henderson rookie. I'd much prefer to get it raw. Next we have Mark Wagner. Next, J. Johnstone. This is kind of a cool image with the netting behind him, just kind of leaning up against it. All right, next we have Julio Cruz. Next we have Jeff Newman. Next, Kiko Garcia. Next we have Dan Spillner. Next we have Roland Office. Next we have the Texas Rangers. Love this image. Pat Corrales, manager. This is a old Arlington Stadium. See it right there. Arlington Stadium was a great place to get autographs after the game. Next we have Dave Palmer. Next we have Mario Guerrero. Here's J.R. Richard. Fantastic pitcher. Big fan of J.R. Richard. Next we have Joe Ferguson. Next we have Warren Brewstar. Next we have Bill Madlock. Fantastic player. I tried to pick up his rookie card recently, got outbid. Next we have Doug Flynn. Next we have Eddie Putman. Next we have Gary Serum. Next, Bob Stanley. Next we have Doyle Alexander, who, if I remember right, this was the guy that was traded for John Smoltz from the Tigers to the Braves. Kind of cool to see him in a Ranger uniform. Next we have Rick Williams. Next we have Fred Howard. Next we have Dave Stieb. This might be Dave Stieb's rookie card. I was just looking. I'm not sure if he has a 79 or not. Definitely early in his career, but this might be a Dave Stieb rookie. Definitely cool if it is. Have to get a penny sleeve for that one. Next we have Rupert Jones. Next we have Bob Ochinko. Next we have Ron LaFleur. Next we have Ted Sizemore. Next we have the Astros, Bill Furden. I miss the team cards like that. Next we have Gary Lavelle. Next we have Pepe Frias. Next, Don Hood. Next we have Dave Roberts. Next, this one has a nice wax stain on it, but we have Neil Allen. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but there's a documentary, a 30 for 30. I think it's called Silly Little Game. They're talking about the original rotisserie baseball league. And apparently this guy, Neil Allen, played a significant role in the first championship. Because he had a pretty stellar career out of nowhere. See if we can see on the back. Yeah, doesn't look like he had really good season in 79, but not sure, maybe it was 1980 or something that he had a good season, but still really cool. Definitely an interesting story about the guy. Next, we have Cecil Cooper, who I believe TTMs through the Astros. Fantastic player. He shares a rookie card with Carlton Fisk. Next, we have Victor Cruz. Next, we have Bob Horner. This is a second-year Bob Horner. One of the few people to hit 4 home runs in one game. Next, we have Fred Lynn, who had a fantastic rookie year. Rookie of the Year, MVP. Great way to start a career, that's for sure. Nice player. Next, we have Bob Nepper. Next, we have the White Sox with Tony La Russa, Hall of Famer, great TTMer. This would be kind of cool to get autographed, have Tony La Russa sign here, and then maybe some of the players. Although I'm not a big fan of those White Sox uniforms, especially the ones with the shorts. Those are horrible. Next, we have Sparky Lyle on the Rangers. That's awesome. Next, we have Phil Garner. I believe I have this card autographed. Maybe not, but I think I do. Definitely a great TTM signer. Next, we have Greg Lizinski. Pretty nice power hitter. Next, we have Dave Rosello. Next, we have Dave Lemanzak. Next, big fan of this guy, Tony Perez. Here with the Montreal Expos. This one definitely needs a sleeve. I'll go ahead and show the back of this one. Next, we have Gary Thomason. Next, we have Tom Bergmeyer. Next, we have Craig Reynolds. Next, Paul Mitchell. Next, Biff Pocoroba. Next, we have Ross Baumgartner. Baumgarten. Third time's the charm. Next, we have Goose Gossage. There's a little bit of a lift up edge on this one, but not too bad. Great TTMer. Next, we have Gary Alexander. Next, Phil Huffman. Next, we have Steve Comer. Now, this one definitely has to be replaced, but this is kind of cool regardless. We have Darrell Evans. And then on the bottom, you can see a bit of Ken Griffey. This is definitely an interesting card. Not the biggest fan of these miscuts. I don't mind them, but as far as the sets, I'll definitely replace this one. But I know a lot of people like to collect these. Some of them consider them like errors or something. Me, I mean, they're cool to see, but you know, I don't mind moving on from them if somebody else likes them or whatever. Next, we have Terry Poole. Next, Manny Sanguian. Next, we have John Fulgham. Next, Tim Blackwell. Next, Larry Sorensen. Next, we have Tony Brizolara. Next, definitely a big fan of this guy, and this card definitely has to be replaced. Looking at it, it's got a crease in it. But Eddie Murray, third year Eddie Murray. This one's got a nice crease right here. So I'll have to replace this. I didn't see it the first time around. This is a rookie card I definitely have to get. 1978. Fantastic player. Next, Larry Christensen. Next, we have Bob Randall. Next, we have Greg Pryor. Next, Glenn Abbott. Next, we have Rick Waits. Next, we have Bert Hooton. Next, we have John Henry Johnson. Next, we have Ray Knight, who played a big role in the Mets winning the '86 World Series. Next, we have Ron Davis. Next, we have Warren Cromartie, who played in Japan for a while. Next, we have Ken Wrights. Next, Steve Franco. Next, we have Hal McRae. Nice career, decent manager. His son, Brian McRae, made the majors. Pretty good player. Next, former Ranger favorite, Buddy Bell. I'd love to get an autograph of this guy. Next, we have Mike Easler. Next, we have Lance Parrish. Nice catcher. Next, we have Dell Alston. Next, we have a few leaders cards. Got the 79 batting leaders, Keith Hernandez, Fred Lynn. You could make a case for both these guys being in the Hall of Fame. Next, we have RBI leaders, Dave Winfield, Don Baylor. This one has to be replaced for sure. It's got a pinhole and a crease in it. This is stolen base leaders. There's the pinhole. Nice little crease. Omar Moreno, Willie Wilson. Next we have 1979 victory leaders. This is kind of cool. We have the Negro brothers, Joe and Phil, along with Mike Flanagan. And we have the 79 ERA leaders, J.R. Richard, Ron Guidry. Guidry's a good signer through the mail. All right, I believe that's all the leaders' cards. Next we have Mike Jorgensen. Next we have Ed Halicki. I'm going to go ahead and stop after the first 400 of the set. So we have Jose Morales. Right now we're on 218. That'll be a little more than half of this, and I don't know if I'll show the other half next week or the week after, but I'll get to the second half of this in a week or two, I guess. Next we have Ron Hassey. Next we have Lou Piniella. Nice player, nice manager. Next we have Bill Stein. Next we have Jim Bibby. I remember having this card as a kid. Not really a notable player, but I like the card. Steve McCaddy. I bought a sort of variety pack, just a random pack of cards or something at a grocery store, and this was one of the cards in it. Next we have Vern Rule. Next, this one has a wax stain. Mark Hill. See, I don't mind. I'd prefer not to have them, but I don't mind wax stain cards on, a card like this because of the nostalgia of the wax stain itself. Because that's just something that you don't see anymore. And you used to see it all the time if you're opening wax packs. So I don't mind them here and there, even on a set like this. Next we have Dave Kingman. Fantastic player. Really good home run hitter. Very low batting average, but definitely a great power hitter. Next, Phil Niekro. This one definitely deserves a sleeve. Next, Tim Foley. Those Padres uniforms are fantastic. What's going on with this guy's arm? That's crazy looking. Next we have Frank Rosselli. Next, Jim Clancy. Next, a guy that belongs in the Hall of Fame, especially for his managing career, Dusty Baker. He was a fantastic player as well. And I know a few people have had success getting his autograph through TTMs, although I haven't sent to him yet. Next we have Roger Erickson. Next, Al Oliver. He was a nice player for the Rangers and the Pirates. Next, Benny Ayala. Next, we have Bernie Robinson. Next, Bernie Carbo. Pretty nice player. Next, Dan Schatzeder. Next, Rob Andrews. Next, another card that needs a sleeve, Gaylord Perry. Next, this one has like a print line straight across. The Paul Blair, nice player. Yeah, that basically goes straight across the card. Otherwise, it's pretty nice. Next, we have Don Baylor. Next, we have Dave Rozema. Next, we have Steve Garvey. Great TTM signer, $5 per. Shout out to Sith. This was his favorite player back when he was a kid. Next, we have Randy Scarberry. Next, Charlie Spikes. Next, we have Larry Gura. Next, we have Tim Johnson. Next, Ken Holtzman, who had a few nice years. Next, we have Steve Henderson. Next, Ron Guidry. Next, we have Mike Edwards. Next, we have the Dodgers team with Tommy Lasorda. Huge Lasorda fan. Great ambassador of the game, great manager. Of course, everybody remembers his ultra slim fast commercials. Next, we have Butch Weiniger. Next, we have Rick Honeycutt. Next, put this guy in the Hall of Fame, Dave Parker. Definitely need to sleeve that one. Next, we have Steve Kemp. Next, we have Dennis Eckersley. I believe this card was already in my collection. Next, we have Tom Underwood. Next, we have Rich Hebner. Next, we have George Medich. Just a few more to go. Next, we have Johnny Walkenfuss. Next, Ken Singleton. Pretty nice player. Next, we have Buddy Solomon. Next, we have a checklist. Might be the only checklist I have. It's the first one I've seen. Hopefully I have more. All right, next we have Andy Hassler. Next we have, what is this? Yeah, this is more than well loved. This is well beaten. This is a Rick Auerbach. And, yeah. That card has definitely seen better days. So I'll have to replace that one, but man. That one's floppy. This card definitely has a story to tell, though. Next, we have Gary Matthews. His son played for the Rangers for a while. I believe his nickname was Sarge. Next, we have Sweet Lou Whitaker. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Well deserving. It's another rookie card I'd like to get, Lou Whitaker. Next, we have Darryl Porter, who was a nice catcher. Next, we have Willie Aikens. They called him Willie Mays Aikens. Next, we have Jim Kern, who I believe is a TTM signer. Love to get his autograph. Next, we have Cesar Cedeno. Nice player. Longtime Astro. Next, we have Joel Youngblood. Next, we have Ross Grimsley. Next, we have Kevin Bell. Next, Gary Maddox. I'm going to butcher this. Dave Frieselben. Next, we have Joey McLaughlin. Next, we have Tony Armas. Next, we have Ellis Valentine. Next, we have Dan Meyer. This one's got some wax stain. Next, we have Roy Thomas. Next, Barry Foote. And the last card I'll be showing this week, Mike Prawley. So that's the first half of the 1980 Top Starter set. I'll try to get to the second half of it next week if I can. Most of the stuff that I have that I haven't shown yet, I've had for a while. Yeah, because of the holidays, I wanted to make sure that I had enough content. So I haven't really made a whole lot of purchases, over the last couple weeks. It's just sort of figuring out how I'm going to show what and when. But I'll try to get to the second half of the starter set next week. But yeah, that's all I have for you this week. So hopefully you enjoyed the content. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the Spine Ticks after party. Until next week, thanks for watching the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.